added on some buildings. We used to have what was called prefabs, which were like little compound houses. Then we made those into classrooms. First of all, the art department, as it was one great big prefab, and it was actually basically the elementary school. And then when we built Melawadi and the elementary moved to Melawadi, the whole art department took over this whole building until, I forget what year it was, but on a Saturday afternoon at Hari Raya, it was struck by lightning and it burned to the ground in 20 minutes. Around that same time, the seniors had a senior lounge, which was in one of those prefabs, and they were allowed to smoke in those days. And again, they started a fire inside the senior lounge, and it almost burned down. So then the board decided no more prefabs. We're going to get rid of these and build permanent structures. That's when they built the wing where the English department and math and all that, the science labs up there. The parking lot used to be a big swamp. There was no parking lot there. We filled it up and put coating on it and ran drains and everything. So we built the wall bordering on the edge of the parking lot, because every time it rained, the graveyard would wash all the stuff down in. It was eroding, and so we put a wall up there. And the contractor finished the wall, and the next day we came back and the wall was on the ground. So the contractor came and put the wall up again. And next day the wall was down again. And so then somebody said, you know, you're putting that up against the cemetery. And nobody did any kind of offering or asking the spirits for permission. And so again, they got the sensei and he did the jing-a-jing and everything, and we burnt jaw sticks and all. They rebuilt the wall, and it's still there. Well, I came to Malaysia with the Peace Corps, 1967. I was a lecturer at a teachers training college, and I taught technical drawing, architecture, and design. Kuala Lumpur only had 400,000 people when I first came. Most of the area, like Taman Tar, was not there. Where we are here at the school, this was so far out into the country, and there was only a dirt road that you could get along the river to get to where Melawadi is now. There was no such thing as Melawadi. It was a new township. Kuala Lumpur at the time when I first came had one traffic light, and it was on the corner, I think, of a place called Foch Avenue and Mountbatten. And both of those street names have been changed now, but it's really right near the Padang, the Selangor Club area. At that time, there was one traffic light there. But everywhere else had these little roundabouts, which the British were famous for. There was, I think, 3 graves where our high school lower field is on the end, and 2 of the families moved the graves. There was 1 grave left that there must not have been anybody in the family left, or nobody claimed it. Yeah. And so the school just moved it without any pomp or circumstance. That's when some strange things started happening at the school. Like, really how I got my permanent job here was the French teacher drowned in the swimming pool, okay? And he told the lifeguard, don't worry, I'm going to be doing breathing exercises. And so nobody paid any attention until they saw the blood coming up. And so he died in the swimming pool. And then one of the lifeguards, who was a Malaysian champion diver, was the lifeguard at our school at that time. He used to come early in the morning to work out, and he dove off the diving board and hit his head on the other side of the pool, and they found him dead in the swimming pool. The third death was in the gym. Exxon at that time used to rent our facilities at night, and the parents were playing basketball. And one of the parents dropped dead of a heart attack right under the basketball hoop. A lot of people said because they had moved that grave without proper ceremony, that maybe there was some bad feng shui.
Yeah.
And so they finally got a Chinese sensei to come in and cleanse the whole place. And supposedly he tracked down the bad spirit in the pump house of the swimming pool. So hence, the swimming pool and the gym were all close together. And so that was the 3 deaths. The incident with the python was, again, during a big rainstorm. The parking lot got up to where the water would come into your door of your car. And one of the teachers, he was a music teacher at that time, Mr. Granzo, figured he had a Ivy, and he figured he better move his car because the water was raising and raising up. And so he went out to his car, which was in a foot of water. He waded out, and he was trying to get the door open, and he couldn't get the door open. And he kind of looked down, and he saw, and here it was a huge python that was completely wrapped around his car, and he couldn't get the door open. And it was really funny because I didn't see it at the time, but everybody thought it was kind of like Jesus walking on water, because he just rose up screaming and he just went across the water as though he's walking on it.